The bearded man out here in Hermosa Beach. Look how beautiful this place is. I apologize already. This might be sound a little windy in the audio, but I think it's gonna be worth the view. You got Bobbbaaaay, this beautiful beach, the clouds in the sky. I mean, what else could you ask for? The Journey Part 16. B.O.B., your favorite bearded man, out here on the Happy Easter Sunday. Weird to be out here for the holidays. Once again, I was out here for Christmas, Thanksgiving. Usually this is the one day of the year that I actually go to church. My family and I, you know, growing up, they brought me to CCD and those types of Catholic classes and stuff. But we'd go to Holyoke and go to Nick's Nest, get some hot dogs. If you're from the 413, you definitely know what I'm talking about. If you're not, well, make sure you go to Nick's Nest if you're ever in Holyoke, Mass. But anyway, we got some of these guys out here doing some kickboxing or something. I don't know. Great week though. Speaking of the parents, they just left on Tuesday. Spent about a week out here with your boy, and it was amazing. It was nice, as I talked about last week's video. It was nice to kick back with them and relax. So I dropped them off at the airport Tuesday, cranked up the notches, got back to the grind. On Wednesday, we had episode 80 of the podcast. Episode 80, ladies and gentlemen. That is a big number, and it feels great. There's no difference in anything except it's a nice number to know that I'm now in the 80s. Dope episode though for this week. It was with Nainoa Langer. He's from Hawaii, videographer, working with beautiful destinations. He's worked with Sam Colder. He's worked with Jeremiah, who's been on the podcast, That One Blonde Kid, Jeremiah Davis. And it was cool to connect with him. He kind of pretty much went to college. He was gonna be a welder, dropped out after 3 semesters. Then he got a job. He was working at a hospital, and he just realized that's like not what he wanted to do. And he finally just said, screw it, left, was heavy in filmmaking, and just kept running with it. And now he's absolutely crushing it. And he's following his Stoke, which is like his branding. So the episode is Follow Your Stoke, Purpose in the Youth podcast. You know, always dropping gems. So that was great. Also on Wednesday, we are now on Spotify. B.O.B. Bobbbaaaay, Purpose in the Youth on Spotify. That's right, folks. I'll put the link in the description here. So make sure you follow the page there. It took a long time to make that happen, and I probably should have got on it earlier, but I was able to connect the dots and actually make this happen. So now you can follow the podcast on Spotify, which is a huge step forward because that is such a massive platform right now, and I think it's only going to continue to grow for podcasting on there. So hopefully the man can get discovered on there and hopefully get some new followers. So that'll be super dope. Fast forward on Thursday, we had Living Our Best Lives, episode 13 of the Breakfast is Served podcast. The boys always going in on that one. That one, you know, it's a quick reminder for you guys that I do that podcast. There's no real way for me to summarize it because we just talk about a lot of different things. That's a great way to get to learn me more. Breakfast is Served, Living Our Best Lives. You could check that out. Got a great phone call yesterday from my mother, and I'll probably throw in the Instagram story right now. Number 2, got a call from my financial advisor, aka my mother, and I currently owe the government more money than I have in my savings and checkings account. So that's sick. This means we're gonna have to crank it up a little bit more on these Uber streets. I'm not even mad about it because you know why? I'm happy, I'm healthy, I'm breathing. We're gonna have to pay the feds back soon. And if you guys know where I can find a pot of gold, send it through. I need it. With me being an Uber driver, I try to save as much money as I can because I have a 1099. And my mother called me the other day and she gave me the bad news that I did not save enough. And I thought I was really good at saving, and I have been a good saver, but I've just tried to, you know, if there's ever something that is an investment, or whether it's marketing materials or it's things for the podcast or equipment, I don't really think twice about it anymore. I just buy it, and I just want to worry about it later. If I know it's helping the brand and what I'm trying to do move forward, then I just pull the trigger and I buy. And she called me the other day, and she was, you know, she's my financial advisor, so shout out to my mother, I love you. She called me and she's like, you know, I've been waiting to tell you this for the last couple of days. It's been bothering me, but you owe the government a good amount of money. And you know, one thing that I've gotten better at in the past year is being very positive. And there's a lesson that I want you guys to take away. This has nothing to do, it's not about me. It's not about me owing the feds money. They're gonna get their money. So what I'm trying to say is that I owe the government more money than I even have, right? So that's a big problem. We're gonna be whipping these Uber streets to pay that back. But the lesson that I want from this little, what I'm talking about, is that there's gonna be a lot of things I feel like in life that feel like you're at the ground. You're just like, oh, I gotta pay the government, I gotta do this job, I gotta do the things that I don't want to do. And that's part of life. You have to do the things you don't want to do in order to do the things you do want to do. That to me is the dream, right? To be able to wake up every day doing what you love. And so many of us will never get there because maybe we don't try, or we don't actually see through the things that we want to do, and all we have to do is keep going and keep pushing forward. The one thing I told my mother, I said, you know what, I just laughed about it, and not laugh, but life could be worse, right? I could have no family, I could have no food on the table, I could have no house, like I might not even have, honestly, an arm to hold this camera up. Like there's so much other things in this world that could be worse. Shout out to Gary Vaynerchuk. Honestly, it's because of this guy who one day I want to do business with, and that's the one person that I want to build a relationship with, a business relationship, and just connect with him, because he's taught me so much of that. Just be grateful for what you have. And yeah, you know what? Everybody else in America is in debt, and a lot of people in this world are in debt. So what? Throw it to the tab, as me and my roommates like to say. Throw it to the tab. Like, I'm gonna have to pay it back eventually. As long as I'm breathing, as long as I'm doing well, something is gonna click in the next few months, maybe the next few years. I don't know when, but I'm confident my content will get me there. So my takeaway, or the takeaway I want for you guys to have this week, is just be grateful for what you have, the people you're around, just creating these memories and these moments, because you know it's just this journey of trying to pay off our bills and get to that destination of where we want to be. And it's not supposed to be easy, because if it was, everybody would do it. So be grateful for what you have. Know that these moments are supposed to happen in your life, because it's like a defining moment of you trying to figure out who you are and persevering through that moment to get to that end destination. There are so many other people in this world that have it worse off than me, that have it worse off than you. All you need to do is keep going, stay positive. Positive thoughts will bring positive outcomes. If you're negative, nothing will come good your way. That's it, folks, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, I'm here in Hermosa Beach. I don't care that there's no sun out right now. I live in Los Angeles, California, one of the biggest dreams I've ever had in my life, and it still blows my mind that I actually live here. And I think I'm gonna have this like honeymoon phase for a long time, because this is my home. I can roll up here any day of the week. There's nobody playing beach volleyball, which would be super dope. And if they were playing beach volleyball right now, the young bearded man would come through, spike the ball, show these folks out here in Hermosa Beach how to play the volleyball. But I don't want to hurt nobody. I don't want to hurt anybody on this pier. That would be a big issue. So thank you guys for always tuning into my content. Please like, comment, subscribe below. I really appreciate it. We're trying to build this movement up. We're trying to get Bobbbaaaay to be on NBC, on YouTube, on Netflix, on all these main platforms, and it's gonna happen one day soon enough. So patience, gratitude. You guys have a great week. Stay positive, stay humble, keep chasing dreams. Don't let anybody tell you what you can or can't do. You have to dream big and continue to push forward. It is a long game. It is all about these little baby steps of making small movements every single day, that eventually 1 year, 2 years, 5 years down the line, you're gonna be living real good. I'm gonna be living real good. Maybe we'll be sitting on this beach right here, having a couple of mimosas, thinking about this video. So journey part 16. Thank you guys for always tuning in. We'll catch you next time. See ya.